welcome to my WOW Chats. This is Michael Lee. He's going to give us some words of wisdom. And WOW Chats are words of wisdom with people that I love and adore and admire. And I consider you a friend. I have followed you for many years, and we always meet. We're here at SITAR, the Symposium on Yoga Therapy and Research in Newport Beach, California. And every SITAR we seem to end up having a drink or something and chatting about life things. And I just feel that you are someone that I consider wise.
Wow.
And when you and Matthew Taylor and Stefan Elberly get together and do your little On Your Authority podcast, I always get something really valuable.
There's some wisdom in there and some fun.
It's great. Yeah, you guys are great. So Michael is, for those of you that may not know Michael, I mean, gosh, where do you start with you? You are the founder, director, magical creator of Phoenix Rising Yoga Therapy.
Correct.
You're a pilot.
Yes.
What else do you do?
I'm a father of five children, and that's been one of my biggest teachers, actually, being a parent for 5 kids. I guess I'm a student of life more than anything else. I love to learn about people. I love to particularly learn about how people change. My whole life has been really about the study of the art of change. It is an art. How do we actually change from one way of being to another way of being, one way of doing to another way of doing?
So how do we do that?
How do we do that? Well, it's a long process, but basically it's about being conscious, being aware, and having the intent in terms of clarity around intent, where you want to go in life, what you want to create, and what it's going to take to get there, and what kind of impact you want to have. Like every day of our lives, we wake up, and do we ever really ask the question, what kind of an impact do I want to have on my world today? And I think if we consider that question, particularly from an embodied place, I prefer to do it from an embodied place rather than let my head figure that out, because I know that over the years, the work that I've done, that our body holds a lot of wisdom. And so every day, one of my rituals is to be present to myself in my body, and in the process of that, towards the end of that, after I've dropped in a little, is to ask from a deep place inside, what kind of an impact do I want to have on my world today? And I usually get guidance around that. It comes from, I don't know where, but it comes. And it's often very powerful, very meaningful. And if I can live that day moving in that direction and having a positive effect on whatever it is I'm wanting to do that with, it makes a difference to my day.
Yeah, that's great. And I remember it was a few years ago, one of the sessions you did at Misty, another conference, and I participated in it, and you had us all, actually I was beside you, Matthew Taylor's filming right now, and you had us move around in any way not choreographed and just move. It was probably a minute or two, and then you had us just be still and put our hands on our heart and ask that question, how do you want to show up today?
Right.
And let your body wisdom tell you that.
Sure.
And you know what, I do that, not every morning, but I do that, and it helps. But I still find that I struggle with, and I have intentions, and how do I want to show up that day or in that moment or whatever I'm doing, but I still struggle with making that change. Like there are just so many obstacles. That sounds all great and it does help. But what do you think is maybe one or a few of the obstacles? Like why we know what we want, we have the intention, we do that, and yet we still make the same. We still get dragged down the same old road, the same old rabbit hole. Like any insight on some of those obstacles, or even one obstacle you think?
Yeah. Well, it's true. I mean, there are obstacles. We live in a world that's really, really busy. We live in a world where we've got to take care of so much. We wake up every day and we've got this huge agenda of things that just have to be done. So I think part of the answer to that is simplifying down. To really get clear in a very clear way what matters and how can we simplify our life so that we do more of what matters and less of what doesn't. So if something's getting in the way, I mean, the obvious question is, does it really matter? Do I really need to pay attention to that, or can I let it go? What can I let go of? Because bottom line is, if we're going to live in integrity with ourselves and live in essence with our truth, It's a very, very simple life, probably. Much simpler than probably what we try to make it now. It's less complicated than it needs to be. But we complicate things because our mind tells us we need to. And so part of the whole process is letting go of the attachment to that mental attachment to the things that seem important.
You described me to a T. To a T. Yeah.
So
okay,
it's like, what can we throw in the garbage? What do we not need to carry? And we all carry a load, So it's like, if you're going to hike the Appalachian Trail, you don't carry a 60-pound pack, or you're not going to make it. You got to slim it down.
Do you see why I have these people in my life? No, really, words of wisdom like this is just that I'm going to replay this every morning. I'm going to listen to this over and over again. Like that, and yeah.
Well, thank you, Shelly.
Wisdom, Michael Lee.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks for watching my WOW Chats. Please check out all of the other ones that I have with other people that I love, admire, and respect.